Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Golden Bachelorette Joan Vassos, uncomfortable kissing men. Golden Bachelorette star Joan Vassos is dating for the first time since the loss of her husband. Is she uncomfortable kissing her suitors? Keep reading to find out why fans are cringing over Joan's makeout sessions and what she said herself about kissing on the show. Golden Bachelorette star lied to family about kissing on show. Joan Vassos didn't stay long on Jerry Turner's season of The Golden Bachelor. But she knew from her time on the show and watching his season that kissing was something that was common. She told Us Weekly recently that she wasn't honest with her family about how many men she kissed on national TV. Why fans think Joan Vassos is uncomfortable kissing men. Joan Vassos has kissed multiple men in the first few episodes of the show, but one Bachelor Nation fan took to Reddit to discuss how uncomfortable the Golden Bachelorette star looked during the intimate moments. They wrote, "I have noticed that Joan can look uncomfortable when a lot of the men go in for a kiss. I even noticed on her date with Pascal when she was having a great time, she kind of turned her head to not go in for the kiss." The fan added, "It physically makes me uncomfortable that Joan discusses how hard it is to move on from her deceased husband, probably hasn't smooched many smooches since his death, and now has to smooch left and right as to not look rude. She wanted the men to make the first move." In another interview with TV Insider before her season aired, Joan Vassos revealed that she left it up to the men to make the first move. She explained, "I was going to let the guy make it, definitely. Public displays of affection. I had to get over the fact that those were uncomfortable for me. But you have to find out if there's a spark." Joan Vassos, one of the standout personalities on The Golden Bachelor, has garnered significant attention for her grace, charm, and that subtle air of mystery she carries. Her journey, full of elegance and quiet confidence, captured the hearts of many viewers. Yet, for some fans, there was a lingering question: is Joan Vassos uncomfortable kissing men? The Golden Bachelor, a show designed to explore love later in life, provided a platform for older singles to find love, rekindle romance, and celebrate companionship in the autumn of their lives. The audience had grown accustomed to seeing sparks fly, kisses exchanged, and genuine affection blooming between the contestants. It was a different kind of love story, one with deeper roots, patience, and life experience behind it. But Joan, the lovely lady with that glimmer of wisdom in her eyes, seemed to navigate the physical side of romance with more hesitation than her peers. In a world that expects romance to be passionate and grand, Joan offered a more nuanced approach. Was it discomfort, or was it perhaps a reflection of her values? Many fans took to social media, speculating whether Joan might be uncomfortable with the public display of intimacy on television, particularly in an environment where emotions are accelerated for entertainment purposes. Joan wasn't shy about her feelings. She clearly formed deep connections, but something about her on-screen interactions left viewers wondering. To understand Joan's perspective, one must delve into her background. Joan Vassos is a woman who has lived through different eras of romance. Born in a time when public displays of affection were not as commonplace or accepted as they are today, her approach to love may naturally lean toward the reserved. For her, affection might not be about grand gestures, but more about meaningful words and shared experiences. The notion of kissing a man, especially multiple men, in the case of a reality show, could feel jarring for someone who values intimacy in a more private setting. In interviews and behind-the-scenes snippets, Joan often spoke of her late husband, a love of her life whom she cherished deeply. Having been married for decades, Joan's heart had known the deep, soulful connection of a long-term partnership. The very idea of opening herself up to new men, especially in such a condensed, public, and competitive way, might have felt overwhelming. When you've loved deeply, the process of starting over can bring about unexpected emotions. especially when physical intimacy is concerned. Joan's subtle discomfort with kissing men on The Golden Bachelor may not stem from insecurity or coldness, but from a place of reverence for what intimacy means to her. For someone who had spent so much time sharing deep, soulful connections with one person, the idea of quickly shifting those kinds of emotions to someone new might feel inauthentic. In her heart, kisses were not just tokens to be exchanged freely, but symbols of a much deeper connection. It's also important to consider the setting of the show itself. While the show celebrates finding love in later life, the fast pace of reality television creates a whirlwind of emotions. Joan, like many contestants, may have found herself in situations where the timeline didn't quite match her natural rhythm. Where others may have felt the pressure to move quickly in the name of screen time, Joan seemed to resist that rush. Her body language, the way she gently held back, could very well indicate a desire for something deeper, more meaningful, a connection that takes time, patience, and trust. And then there's the question of the cameras. Imagine being thrust into the world of reality TV, where every intimate moment is not only shared with the person in front of you, but also with millions of viewers at home. For someone like Joan, who seems to value privacy and depth, kissing a man under such circumstances could understandably feel uncomfortable. Kissing is, after all, a deeply personal act, one that can be laden with emotions, memories, and expectations. Joan may have felt that the gravity of such an action was amplified by the presence of the cameras, making it difficult to act freely and naturally in the moment. Moreover, Joan's experience may speak to a larger truth about romance as we age. As people grow older, the way they approach love and intimacy evolves. For some, physical closeness may become more important, while for others, it's the emotional connection that takes precedence. Joan's reluctance, if one can call it that, may be a reflection of a more mature understanding of love. She doesn't need to rush into kisses or physical affection to prove her connection. For Joan, love may manifest in different ways, through quiet conversations, shared laughter, or even the simple act of holding hands. In the end, Joan Vassos represents a kind of love that many people can relate to, one that values depth over spectacle and intimacy over immediacy. Whether or not she is uncomfortable kissing men on The Golden Bachelor is a question that only Joan herself can answer. But what we do know is that her journey reflects the complexities of love, especially when experienced later in life. It's not always about the grand, romantic gestures. Sometimes it's about finding comfort, trust, and emotional intimacy before anything physical comes into play. Joan's story reminds us that love is not a one-size-fits-all experience. It can be gentle, quiet, and deeply meaningful without the need for fireworks or passion-driven moments. And in a world where reality TV often demands instant gratification, Joan's approach to romance feels refreshingly honest. Whether she kisses a man on camera or not, her journey is a reminder that love, at any age, is as much about connection as it is about chemistry.